Swadika, thank you for joining us on Newsline for Thursday, February 13th of 2014. My name is Sandra Hanut-Saha. In today's top stories, the Constitutional Court has resolved not to accept a petition lodged by a former Democrat MP to have the February 2nd general election nullified. And in business news, 6.2 billion baht cash flow is expected to change hands on February 14th. And now on to the headlines for today. The Department of Foreign Trade, or DFT, has opened an auction of 467,000 tons of rice from the government's stockpile amid a lively atmosphere, with up to 18 companies participating and more than 10 billion baht expected to be generated. According to DFT Director General Surasak, the auction was organized to release the rice the government had accepted from farmers under the rice pledging scheme. The rice put up for grabs comprised in-season rice from the 2011 to 2012 harvest season and off-season rice from the 2012 and 2013 harvest seasons. Out of the 467,000 tons, about 367,000 tons was for domestic sales, while the other 100,000 tons was for export. On this occasion, 20 envelopes were handed in by 18 bidders, 15 envelopes for domestic sales, and the other 5 for export. Today, the committee in charge of releasing the stockpiled rice is scheduled to open all the envelopes and negotiate with each bidder in order to secure the best prices possible. Mr. Surasak said the department expected to raise over 10 billion baht from this auction. To speed up the rice release, the Director General disclosed that the DFT would be holding as many as 2 to 3 rice auctions a month from now on, with the next lot of over 500,000 tons to be available for bidding next week. Mr. Surasak said 2.2 million tons of rice had been auctioned off so far, while about 170 to 180 billion baht had been generated and paid back to the Ministry of Finance. The fire that burned through a government-operated rice warehouse in Lopburi was an accident and not an attempt to destroy evidence of corruption, according to the director of the Public Warehouses Organization, or PWO, and the provincial governor of Lopburi. An area used for storage of broken rice in the warehouse in Chaibadan district in Lopburi was damaged by the fire, according to Provincial Governor Thanakom Jongtira. However, the fire was not caused by arson, as the spot of the flames was only used to keep broken rice. PWO Director Chanutpakon Wongsi-nin asserted the fire was an accident that only caused minor damage to the articles kept in the warehouse. He said the owner of the warehouse will take responsibility for the damage, and the warehouse also had insurance. Mr. Chanutpakon added he has told PWO officials to carefully provide oversight for rice warehouses throughout the country to prevent similar incidents from occurring. The Election Commissioner EC is scheduled to clarify Thailand's general election problems to foreign diplomats today. Election Commissioner Puchong Nutrawong said the EC would meet today on the Senate election after the cabinet agreed with the EC to organize the poll on the 30th of March. Executives of the Public Relations Department had been invited to attend the meeting to discuss public relations activities for the election, Mr. Puchong said. The official stated further that the 5 election commissioners would travel to the Rama Garden Hotel on the same day to meet with more than 40 foreign diplomats in Thailand. Complications in the general election would be explained to them. The Constitutional Court has resolved not to accept a petition lodged by a former Democrat MP to have the February 2nd general election nullified, citing insufficient grounds to confirm that the poll was against the charter. Mr. Wirat Kalayasiri, member of the Democrat Party's legal team and former MP for Songkhla, on February 4th filed a request for the court's consideration whether the general election should be voided, for it was in breach of Section 68, Paragraph 1. However, the judges on Wednesday pointed out that based on evidence provided by the plaintiff, there were no clear indications that the election was organized to open way for certain parties to gain the administrative power through unconstitutional means. The court thus refused to accept the case for deliberation. On the same day, the Constitutional Court also rejected another petition from Pheu Thai Party spokesperson Phrampong Noparit, which accused core leaders of the People's Democratic Reform Committee, or PDRC, of attempting to overthrow Thailand's constitutional monarchy system. The tribunal said the PDRC's movement was carried out by the people within their rights and freedom. 11 people have died and 611 have been injured as a result of the ongoing PDRC's protest, according to Erawan Center. The Erawan Center has reported that one person was injured in the shooting incident at Gate 4 of the government house. The injured individual was immediately taken to Ramatipati Hospital. The victim was a man in his 30s. He had an open wound on his head and possibly 2 broken arms. 11 people have been killed and 611 others have been injured since the beginning of the PDRC's movement on November 30th of 2013. 12 of the injured are still under treatment in hospital. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, has reassured the public that no cases of a disease epidemic were found at the protest sites in the capital. Ms. Tri Dao Aphaiwong, spokesperson for the BMA, stated that there have been concerns that the crowded protest sites would cause a spread of diseases among the protesters. However, she has reassured that no cases have occurred. The BMA has set up medical teams to be stationed at various tents near the demonstration areas. Anyone found to have irregular complications, such as vomiting, diarrhea, or food poisoning, is strictly advised to call for immediate medical assistance. Since the protests started 3 months ago, Ms. Tri Dao stated that there has not been any case where a member of the protesters contracted a transmissible disease, albeit some were found to have come down with a common cold. Moreover, the BMA has been giving hygiene advice to the protesters to prevent any spread of infectious disease and has been working in cooperation with the Environment Department to assist in the cleaning up of the protest sites. And first up in our ASEAN and Beyond news, the annual multilateral military drill, Cobra Gold 2014, has kicked off in Pissanulok province, with the armed forces of Thailand, the USA, and other nations participating. Military troops from Thailand, the United States, Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia gathered at Camp Ekatosarot in Pissanulok to take part in an opening ceremony held to mark the official start of Exercise Cobra Gold 2014. The exercise is aimed at improving the ability of nations to conduct and plan joint military operations, as well as to build relationships between member states. In addition to the 7 countries attending the drill, at least 20 more countries have sent observers to this year's drill, which is focused on humanitarian assistance in a conflict situation, as well as disaster relief. Ms. Christy Kenny, U.S. Ambassador to the Kingdom of Thailand, said Cobra Gold was the world's largest and most successful multilateral military exercise. Around 10,000 military personnel are taking part in this annual exercise, which continues until February 21st. The construction sector is eyeing business expansion to countries in the ASEAN Economic Community, or AEC, while also maintaining regular customers in the domestic market. According to Mr. Tat Thong Pak, the Managing Director of Project Planning Service Public Company Limited, or PPS, The 2014 outlook for Thailand's construction sector seems bleak when compared to those in the previous years. He attributed the sector's falling growth rate to the government's delay in implementing its 2.2 trillion baht infrastructure development project, prompting the sector to hold back its investment plans in the country. Mr. Tut said his company has thus adjusted its strategy by turning more to expanding its engineering consultancy and construction management services to neighboring ASEAN countries such as Myanmar and Laos. He added that the PPS's 2014 goal is to seal at least one deal in Myanmar. Mr. Tut also said the PPS would still maintain its presence in the domestic market by putting more emphasis on contacts with real estate developers, reasoning that the property sector still attracts continuous investment. And that's the end of our first segment. We now take a short break, but stay tuned because Thai stocks climbed 1.4% on Wednesday amid a rise in the baht and decent quarterly earnings by large caps.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thainess to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
เมื่อมนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติแล้วมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. The University of the Thai Chamber of Commerce, or UTCC, expects only 6.2 billion baht cash flow to change hands on February 14th, which marks both Valentine's Day and Makabucha Day. The UTCC Center for Economic and Business Forecasting, or CEBF Director Thanawat Ponwichai, revealed the latest survey on consumer spending, saying those who are looking forward to celebrating Valentine's Day will spend around 1,800 baht per person, putting the annual Valentine's Day spending to more than 3.3 billion baht in total. As for those who will be celebrating the religious holiday of Makabucha, the amount of average consumer is expected to spend is around 2,300 baht, mostly on their travels to various monasteries, resulting in 2.8 billion baht to be generated during the holiday. In conclusion, the director said a total of 6.2 billion baht would be circulating on February 14th. The amount which will be spent to celebrate the Day of Love, according to Mr. Thanawat, represents the lowest figure in 8 years, whereas the money to be spent on the Makabucha pilgrimage will be the lowest record in the last 4 years. Mr. Thanawat said major factors contributing to such spending decreases are the political unrest and the increasing prices of consumer products. Prices of roses and lotus flowers have gone up several-fold this week as available supply is lower and Makabucha Day is approaching. Prices of roses and lotus flower prices are expected to keep rising until Valentine's and Makabucha, which happen to fall on the same day this year. Flower shops at Pak Klong Talad Market in Bangkok said the lower than normal supply was due to the intense cold period at the end of 2013, having stemmed the growth of the roses and flowers. A large portion of lotus plants also died off as a result of the cold weather. Lotus flowers at the wholesale market were reportedly selling at 100 to 150 baht per bundle on Wednesday, compared to the normal price of between 50 to 60 baht. As roses were also affected by the intense cold, the sellers had to import them to make up for the supply shortage. Consequently, rose prices have risen to between 600 to 800 baht per bundle. Thailand's high-speed train project has been confirmed to take place amid concerns that it might be scrapped due to the political standoff in the country. Director of the Office of Transport and Traffic Policy and Planning, Jula Sukamanop, said despite political uncertainties, the Bangkok-Chiang Mai high-speed train project would move forward in a transparent manner without interruption. Public hearings for the project's first phase had been conducted with no objection from the general public, the director said. According to the office, the high-speed train in the northern region would pass the provinces of Pisnulok, Uttaradit, Phra, Sukhothai, Lampang, Lamphun, and Chiang Mai. The project was still in the process of impact assessment and routes were being selected. After a public hearing in the second phase, the office would submit the project results to the cabinet for consideration, the director said. And before we take our next break, let's have a quick look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
Open the world of information. Embrace public participation. Present Thainess to the world. New dimension of the government's public relations. The 80th anniversary of the Public Relations Department. Creative media for the society. Mobilizing Thailand towards the ASEAN community.
เมื่อมนุษย์ทำลายสมดุลทางธรรมชาติแล้วมนุษย์ก็เป็นผู้ประสบภัยพิบัติจากธรรมชาติร่วมสร้างอนาคตลดภัยพิบัติระดมพลังพลิกฟื้นคืนผืนป่าในทุกชุมชนทั่วประเทศ
For those who have Android smartphones, you can download a PRD News application by searching for PRD News English in Play Store. That way, you can stay up to date with the latest happenings in Thailand.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. As Valentine's Day is approaching, the Public Health Ministry has called on all sexually active teenagers to take precautions while revealing that Thai teens start having sex as early as 13 years of age. Director General of the Mental Health Department, Jesada Chokdamrong Suk, presided over an opening ceremony to kickstart a campaign named Love Say Play in hopes of solving unprotected sex problems and premature sexual activities among teenagers. The campaign provides an overview of sex education, and a shocking survey has revealed that teenagers nowadays start having sex with their partners at the age of 13 to 15 years, and less than 50% of sexual activities are protected. Statistics also show that over 3,700 14-year-old girls gave birth in 2012, accounting for 10 births per day. 133,000 women under the age of 20 delivered babies in the same year, equal to 365 births per day on average. Since February 14th also marks the auspicious occasion of Makabucha, the director is calling on all couples to go to temples and make merit, as well as stay away from alcohol. Buriram has set up a relief center after an early drought hit the province while declaring a drought emergency in one of its districts. Buriram Governor Thongchai Luadun has ordered the Provincial Disaster Prevention and Mitigation Office to establish a drought relief center and speed up help for victims in the drought-hit zones. Meanwhile, a drought emergency has been declared in Buriram's Putaisong district, meaning people living in the district are in urgent need of assistance. According to the governor, authorities have been working hard to distribute water to all affected areas, as he expects this year's drought to last longer than in any other year. Because Buriram province does not have any large dam, the people must rely on small and medium-sized reservoirs in order for them to get through this annual tribulation. And that is it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. Just simply type in NNT or check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. And we're going to say goodbye with Suanrod Phai Park. It's a special park where not only people can enjoy the greenery, but they can also get to see the old train compartments up close. Have a great day. I'm Sandra Hanun Saha. Sawasdee ka.